They were threatening us, we are going to blow your brains. That made me think that they had guns. You just trust whatever they tell you. My name is Ndumiso Mafu. I live in South Africa, KwaZulu-Natal. I work in the ministry. We work with young people. It's been 3 years now since my husband passed away. He was a minister and we worked together in the ministry. He was the key person, especially here in the area. Most of the people, they knew him, they worked with him. We worked hand in hand. The week we were kidnapped, I remember very clearly because there was a ship at Richards Bay. We went to that. Actually, we had a child that we had adopted that stayed with us. So we really wanted him to experience that. We stayed there until it was late, and then after that we went for dinner and came home. Went to bed as usual, and then it was like in the middle of the night when we heard somebody just kicking the door. The whole door just fell in. I just couldn't believe that somebody was in the house, and of course, somebody was standing right there. I started screaming. My husband started really trying to fight with this guy, and I'm thinking I had a bush knife at the back of in the house, and then I touched it and I said, no, I'm gonna miss him and they are gonna kill us, because I knew that he was just not by himself. And then after he was done with him, he came and just smacked me, tell me to keep quiet. They tie us, and the first thing that they wanted were the keys for the cars, because they knew that there were cars in the garage. And so I gave them all the keys. Those are the cars for the ministry. They were ready to take whatever they wanted, but they were taking all the cars that belongs to the mission. And then after they did that, they said, well, let's go. I said, well, please. You have all the keys, you can take all the cars, you can take whatever you want, but leave us. They said, no, we will take you, we will drop you on the way, then you can come back home. But they said they will drop us at the mall. They threw him in the car, and I hang on real tight. And then after that, it was time to go. Well, they were busy talking. They were saying, it's time, it's time. Somebody was just telling them that it's time to get out. We were just praying loud when we left here. We just prayed loud. We went to the gas station, fill up the cars. We are still praying. And then, when we were just not too far, all of a sudden we heard them saying, because they were really communicating, the other car capsized. I don't know what's wrong with that guy who's driving that car. Then all of a sudden they came to us, they say, stop praying. That's why this is happening. So of course we did stop praying, but we can stop praying, talking loud, but we were still praying. Another thing that they told us, they said, we are not bad guys at all. This is the work. We are at work right now. So just like you wake up and go to work, this is the job. We are doing this job. So we are not bad guys. We are not gonna rape you. We are not gonna do any harm to you unless you do something. They kept driving and talking and being nice. They even knew that Isaiah was a diabetic, so they had his bag. They gave me whatever was in his bag, candy. We were sharing candy. We never saw their faces because they just told us that you don't look at them. And the guys that were in with us in the car, really, they didn't even have their faces covered. They were changing the drivers. From here to Pelandaba, we had a different driver. And then from there, we had another driver. So I could hear when they were talking about those places. Plus, I think when we were getting to Sodwana Bay, they said it was okay for me. I could sit up in the car. but no, still with my head down. Then when we got to Manguzi, that's when they left the main road, started using whatever, I don't know whether it was a dirt road, whatever, but it was just going down into the bushes. It was kind of drizzling that morning. And then we got stuck. I think where we got stuck, there were people that came, because finally they tried everything with the car. It couldn't, so they needed somebody to push them out. So whatever happened, because we were told to really go down, we didn't see anything, but you could hear that there were more people there that helped them to push out the car. We drove maybe about 2 hours, and then finally the car stopped. We were parked, and I could tell that they were relaxed, but what was happening, they would go out and seems as if they had a meeting, but still we're not allowed to look at them, but they had something like a meeting outside. When we were there was something like a light behind us, and all of a sudden we heard the gunshot. And when we heard that, we went under. And then we heard somebody screaming, "Get out of the car, get out of the car." It was the police car. They tried, because it was a real thick, bushy place where we were. They couldn't even, so they got out, tried to chase them, and well, they couldn't find them. These guys were gone, nowhere to be seen. So finally, they came and they asked if we're the owner of the car, and my husband said yes. And then he took us to the police car. And then the policeman that was driving, he said, "I am a Christian. I dreamed about this, that there were people that I needed to help." In the morning, I received this phone call of somebody telling us that there is a car that has been driven that way. Since I had that dream about the people that I needed to help. So we were just like, you hear that there are miracles, they happened, but it's very, very difficult to believe that it really happened. But for me, I felt like, God just took me out from that thick bush, because there was absolutely nobody who could know where I was. Something that I learned from this whole situation, to be fearful, sometimes it just traumatizes you and you are unable to do anything just because you are so fearful. But for me to know that God is in control of my life, that has helped me even during this time.